Can you hear me now? Okay. All right. So again, my name is Kourtney S. I am Alba's mentor. And she did a really awesome project on FS. And I will let her tell you all about it because it's really amazing, all the things she knows about it now. But she did a really great job at reading the scientific literature and kind of getting past the hard part of learning all the jargon and the different terminology. And she's done a really amazing job, and she was such a pleasure to work with. So now we can all listen to Alba tell us about FS.
Next slide, please.
Can you adjust the camera a little bit, your forehead? Yeah, thank you.
So my mentor's name is Kourtney Sprague. She lives in Ohio and she works at Cincinnati Children's. She's a PhD candidate and she works in a sensory neuron lab. For fun, she likes to run, hike, and hang out with the cats. Next slide, please. So my project was based on researching fogosauvaging. Specifically, my project is called Spot and Stop, Everything You Need to Know About Fogosauvaging. It is a research project based on fogosauvaging. Fogosauvaging is an endemic form of Pemphigus flacius. It's mainly it's very prevalent in the rural areas of Brazil. For my project, I created a flyer on BioRender that kind of is an overview of fogosauvaging and what it is. And I also wrote my own scientific paper on fogosauvaging, going more in detail of my flyer. I chose to research fogosauvaging because I'm Brazilian, so being able to learn about my Brazilian community and how this disease affects my community is very important to me, especially since I only go to Brazil once or twice a year. So being able to learn about something that is very big in Brazil has been able to help me feel more connected and more in touch with Brazil. I am also excited to research fogosauvaging because it's a skin condition, and I want to be a dermatologist in the future. So this has helped me expose myself to the field of dermatology. Through my research, I've been able to learn multiple technologies and topics. I learned about immunology and the immune system. I have been able to read multiple journal clubs on fogosauvaging, going on the environmental factors of fogosauvaging and like the molecular side of fogosauvaging, including the cells and antibodies. I also learned how to use BioRender, which is an app that helps create images. And I created multiple images for my project. I created images, I created my flyer on BioRender, and I also created images for my article. I also learned multiple molecular techniques that can be used to detect fogosauvaging, including ELISA, immunofluorescence, and Western blot. For my research project, I have been able to use BioRender to create my flyer and show the causes and effects of FS. I was able to complete 2 journal clubs on FS, talking about B-cell epitope spreading, as well as the molecular side of FS, including environmental factors. I was able to write my own article on FS, talking about symptoms, treatments, post-treatment, the molecular side, as well as the genetics and environmental factors. I was also able to learn about the molecular techniques I was talking about before, and how they help detect FS in a person. And in the future, I hope to become a dermatologist. And so through this project, it has really helped me learn more about skin and learn more about dermatology and different diseases surrounding skin. Next slide, please. With magic, I've been able to learn more about my Brazilian community and how it's affected by FS. I've been able to expose myself to complex technologies in anatomy, being able to understand what happens under the skin and antibodies. Through magic, I've been able to learn how to complete journal clubs, especially since they're very dense and full of information. So being able to learn how to split the information up and learning to highlight key points and general ideas has been a very big thing that I've been able to learn. I've also been able to adjust the graphic images because since FS is a skin disease, it is visible and you can see it. So there's very severe forms of FS. So images can be very graphic. So being able to see them now, being very young and being able to understand how it looks like and how it can change depending on different type of disease is very important for me, especially in the future and my career as I get older. I've also been able to learn how to write scientific review papers using my findings from literature and using all the research that I've collected over the past few months. At first, it was very challenging to grasp the molecular side of FS, understanding like the big words that are used and understanding the pictures that depict what happens molecularly, and understanding what happens inside the body as a reaction to FS, not just what happens on the skin. It was very challenging at first to read the scientific papers and understanding what is really important in each paper and understanding the general ideas and being able to split up the paper and being able to tackle it, especially since that's going to be very important for me in the future when I want to go to medical school. Next slide, please. So for my project, I created a flyer that is called Spot and Stop, Everything You Need to Know About Fogosalvaging. This flyer kind of explains an overview of what FS is. So FS is an endemic form of pemphigus flacius. It is an autoimmune skin blistering disease, and it can be found in the rural areas of Brazil, including Minas Gerais and São Paulo. The exact pathogenesis of FS is not really known, but it's been thought to stem from malnutrition and poverty and the living conditions of people affected by FS. Multiple symptoms of FS include photosensitivity, severe stinging and burning, an itching sensation, and changes with the nail and skin. Below the skin, the immune system reacts to keratinocytes and desmones that make up the skin. And to combat FS, the body produces immunoglobulin and autoantibodies that bind to the DSGs to combat the disease. To detect FS, you can use ELISA, immunofluorescence, and Western blot. These don't not only detect FS, but can detect other autoimmune diseases. And to treat FS, it is usually used a dosage of 1 mg of prednisone, for severe FS. And when it becomes more under control, or if it's a more moderate case of FS, you can cut the dosage in half, making it 0.5 mg of prednisone. And to treat mild FS, you can cut that dosage in half, prescribing 0.25 mg of prednisone, or you can use topical or intralesional CS. And then for my video, I have a video of me creating one of my images. This image depicts this image depicts what happens molecularly, specifically the keratinocytes, especially when someone with FS. Okay, you can.
But did you want me to play the whole video?
Oh, yes, please. Yeah. Oh, wait, the video also has a sound, which can also play. Yeah.
I put it off because you were talking, but I can put it on.
Oh, yeah.
I then went in and added to these keratinocytes, adding the smaller purple inner circle. Next, I decided to pick a specific part of my figure to zoom in on so that you could see what happens specifically during FS. I then used the same cell figure that I used for the keratinocytes and enlarged them and added a transparent layer, which you can also search up. we have multiple different selections that you can choose from. The one that I said, oh. I chose this specific transparent layer to represent the fluid that happens during FS. And lastly, I added finishing touches, including arrows, labeling of the different skin layers, and titling the different skin sections to clearly show what I wanted to display. BioRender is very helpful and a nice way to display scientific images and allow me to clearly display molecular FS.
Okay, thank you.
I use the app.
Oh, yeah. I'll take questions if anyone has any.
Anyone here is welcome to ask as well. I have a question. So I would have loved this when I went to med school. You put it together so succinctly, not just what does it look like, where you find it, but also how do you treat it at different stages? Do you have any plans to do this with other diseases? Can you repeat the
yeah.
question, sir?
So the question was if I have a plan to do this with any other diseases. Yes, I hope that in the future, that I will do this with more diseases, specifically skin diseases. I feel like this was a good disease to start off with, especially since I'm Brazilian. So being able to not only connect like with my interest in skin, but also connect with like my identity was a really good way to start with this. But I definitely feel in the future, because this project was very fun for me, and being able to research everything and using BioRender to create my image definitely was a very big interest of mine. So I definitely think in the future I will make more like be able to compile more research on different types of diseases. Thank you. Oh, yeah.
That's fantastic. Do you have any plans to use that brochure educationally, either in communities in Brazil or other?
Yes. So the question was if I plan to use like my my flyer like in communities or just like spreading it around. So actually I wrote an article and I plan on publishing that and making a website that has it all that has all of my information and everything that I wrote. And I plan on adding like my flyer into my article. So that like it'll be okay, sorry. So like I'll use that as a website so people can like be able to see it and like access it. But that's all I have planned for now. But I definitely want to like do something in the future where I go like in Brazil, like I can like talk about it and explain what FS is and spread awareness.